You're sitting at your kitchen table on a Sunday night, bills spread out in front of you, phone in hand, calculator open, and no matter how many times you run the numbers, they don't add up. You make decent money, you're not doing anything crazy, you're not gambling, you're not buying designer clothes every weekend, but somehow, every month, you end up in the same place, slightly behind, slightly stressed, slightly confused about where it all went. Now here's the question that should keep you up at night. What if the problem isn't how much you earn? What if the problem is everything you were never told about how money actually works? Because here's the thing nobody says out loud. The financial system you were born into was not designed to make you wealthy. It was designed to make you functional, just comfortable enough to keep working, just informed enough to keep spending, just hopeful enough to never really question any of it. And the 25 truths I'm about to share with you, they don't get taught in schools. They don't appear in the pamphlets your bank sends you. They're not trending on social media, but they are the difference between a life of financial stress and a life of genuine financial freedom. So pay attention, because some of these are going to be uncomfortable, and the uncomfortable ones are exactly the ones you need most. Let me introduce you to two people. We'll call them Marcus and James. Both grew up in similar households, working class families, parents who worked hard and paid their bills on time, but never really built any lasting wealth. Neither Marcus nor James grew up talking about money. It was always a source of tension, not education. By their mid-20s, both were earning around $48,000 a year. In the UK equivalent, think around £36,000. Solid enough, not rich, not poor, right in the middle, when most people live their entire lives. But here's where the paths split. Marcus, somewhere along the line, started getting curious about money. Not obsessed, just curious. He started asking questions that most people never bother to ask. Why does it feel like I'm always behind? Why does a raise never seem to fix anything? Why do some people with less income seem more financially secure than people earning twice as much? James never asked those questions, not because he was lazy or careless, but because nobody ever gave him a reason to. He did what society told him. Work hard, pay your bills, treat yourself sometimes, save when you can, retire eventually, hope for the best. 20 years later, Marcus has a net worth of $340,000. No inheritance, no lucky windfall, no secret six-figure side hustle, just 25 truths he discovered and actually applied to his life. James, he has $18,000 in savings and $44,000 in debt. Still working, still tired, still wondering why the math never seems to work in his favor. Same start, same income range, same opportunities. 25 truths made all the difference. Here they are. Truth 1. Your income is not your wealth. This is the first and most important thing to understand. Income is the water coming out of the tap. Wealth is how much water you've stored in the tank. Most people spend their whole lives focused on making the tap flow faster without ever checking if the tank has a hole in the bottom. You can earn $120,000 a year and have zero wealth, and you can earn $45,000 a year and quietly build something extraordinary. The number on your payslip is not your financial position. Your net worth is, and those two things can be radically, shockingly different. Truth 2. Lifestyle inflation is the silent assassin of financial progress. Every time your income goes up, there's a magnetic pull towards spending more. Better car, nicer apartment, upgraded holidays, more expensive restaurants. It feels earned. It feels like progress. But here's what's actually happening. Your expenses are rising in lockstep with your income, which means your savings rate stays exactly the same, which means your wealth stays exactly the same, which means in 10 years, you're earning more, spending more, and still just as financially fragile as you were at the beginning. The people who build real wealth are not the ones who earn the most. They're the ones who resist this pull the longest. Truth 3. The middle class is a financial trap disguised as success. This one is going to sting for some people. The middle class lifestyle, the mortgage, the 2 cars, the private school fees, the annual holiday, the constant renovations, is one of the most effective wealth-destroying machines ever invented. Not because these things are bad, but because they're expensive, ongoing, and financed almost entirely on future income. People in the middle class work hard, they look successful, they have things, but they are one redundancy, one medical bill, one economic shock away from a financial crisis. True wealth is not about looking stable, it's about actually being stable. And the middle-class lifestyle, as sold to us by advertising, by culture, by social expectation, keeps millions of people looking wealthy while remaining financially vulnerable. Truth 4. Debt is a product and you are the customer. Banks and lenders don't offer credit cards and personal loans out of generosity. They offer them because debt is one of the most profitable products ever created. When you carry a balance on a credit card at 22% interest, you are the revenue. When you take a personal loan to consolidate other debts, you are the revenue. The system is not neutral. It is designed to keep you borrowing. And the marketing around debt, flexible payments, buy now, pay later, 0% for the first year is extraordinarily sophisticated. Understanding that debt is a product and you are being sold to changes how you see every single credit offer that comes your way. Truth 5. Your bank is not your ally. This sounds harsh, but think about it. Your bank makes money when you go overdrawn. It makes money when you carry debt. It makes money on the spread between the interest it pays you on savings and the interest it charges you on loans. A bank that truly had your financial interests at heart would aggressively encourage you to pay off debt, invest elsewhere, and hold as little cash as possible in low-interest accounts. But they don't, because that would shrink their profits. Your bank is a business. Treat it like one. Use it for what you need, but never mistake it for a financial advisor. Truth 6. Buying a home is not always the smart financial move people claim it is. In the US and the UK alike, home ownership is treated almost like a moral achievement. You finally made it. You're a real adult now. But here's the truth that the property industry desperately doesn't want you to hear. When you factor in mortgage interest, property taxes, maintenance costs, insurance, and the opportunity cost of your deposit, buying a home in an expensive city is often not the wealth-building strategy it's made out to be. In London, New York, or San Francisco, you could be spending £3,500 or $4,000 a month on a mortgage for a property that, after all costs, delivers modest real returns. Renting and investing the difference can, in many cases, build more wealth over the same period. This doesn't mean home ownership is always wrong. It means it's not always automatically right. Run the actual numbers for your actual situation. Truth 7. The 40-year career plan is a myth built on a system that no longer exists. Your grandparents worked for one company, got a pension, retired comfortably. That world is gone. Pensions in the private sector have been systematically dismantled. Company loyalty flows in one direction. Layoffs happen to productive, hardworking people every single day.
The idea that you can hand your financial future to an employer and trust it will work out is one of the most dangerous beliefs a working person can hold. Your financial future is your responsibility, not your employer's, not the government's, yours. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you start building something that actually belongs to you. Truth 8. Most financial advice is designed for people who already have money. Go to a financial advisor with $800 in savings and $12,000 in debt. See how much help you get. The financial industry is built to serve people who already have capital to manage. The people who need guidance most, who are drowning in debt, who are living paycheck to paycheck, are largely ignored by the professional advice industry because there's no commission to earn from telling someone to stop eating out and pay off their overdraft. This is why financial education matters so much, because the system is not coming for you. You have to come for yourself. Truth 9. Compound interest works both ways, and most people are on the wrong side of it. Everyone talks about compound interest as this magical wealth-building force, and it is, but the same power that slowly turns $200 a month into $300,000 over 30 years is also the force silently turning your $5,000 credit card balance into $11,000 over the same period, if you're only paying minimums. Compound interest doesn't care which side you're on, it just does its work. The question is whether it's working for you or against you. Right now, for most people, it's working against them. Every day you carry high-interest debt while not investing is a day compound interest widens the gap between where you are and where you could be. Truth 10. Your spending is an emotional biography. If you want to understand someone's relationship with money, don't look at their income, look at where they spend. Because spending is rarely just practical, it's emotional. People buy status because they feel invisible. They buy comfort because they feel stressed. They buy experiences because they feel trapped. They overspend on children because they feel guilty. They undersave because saving for the future feels abstract and joyless compared to pleasure right now. Understanding why you spend is just as important as tracking how much you spend. The psychology behind the purchase is where real financial change begins. Truth 11. Net worth is the only number that actually matters. Not your salary, not your credit score, not how much equity you have in your home in isolation. Your net worth, everything you own minus everything you owe, is the truest measure of your financial health, and most people have never calculated it because they're scared of the answer. But not knowing doesn't make it better. It just makes you blind to a problem that's growing. Calculate your net worth today. Write it down, even if the number is negative, especially if the number is negative, because you cannot improve what you refuse to measure. Truth 12. The wealthy think in assets. The poor think in objects. The middle class thinks in income. This is one of the most important mindset shifts in all of personal finance. Poor financial thinking says, I need more money coming in. Middle class thinking says, I need a better salary. Wealthy thinking says, I need more assets producing income for me. The wealthy aren't just working harder, they're building things, businesses, investments, property, intellectual property that generate returns while they sleep. Every time you spend money on something that loses value the moment you buy it, you're choosing objects over assets. Every time you invest in something that appreciates or generates income, you're building the architecture of real wealth. Truth 13. Tax is one of the biggest expenses of your life, and most people do nothing to manage it. The average person will pay hundreds of thousands of dollars or pounds in income tax over their lifetime.
And the vast majority will never take a single intentional step to reduce that number legally. Pension contributions, tax-advantaged accounts like ISAs in the UK and 401ks and Roth IRAs in the US, business structures, capital gain strategies. These are not loopholes for the rich. They are legal tools that are available to everyone, but most people never use them. Not because they can't, because nobody taught them they exist. Learning how taxes work and how to legally reduce them could be worth more to your financial life than any raise you ever receive. Truth 14. An emergency fund isn't just a financial tool, it's a power tool. When you have 3 to 6 months of expenses sitting in a savings account, something remarkable happens. Beyond just financial security, you gain power. Power to say no to a bad employer. Power to walk away from a toxic situation. Power to take a calculated risk on yourself. Power to negotiate from a position of stability rather than desperation. People without emergency funds make worse financial decisions, not because they're less intelligent, but financial stress narrows the brain's capacity for long-term thinking. The science on this is clear. The scarcity mindset is real, and an emergency fund is one of the most effective antidotes to it. Truth 15. Most people will retire poor, and they don't know it yet. In the UK, the average pension pot at retirement is around £61,000. The average American retires with less than $100,000 saved. These numbers sound like they should fund a comfortable retirement. They don't. At a 4% withdrawal rate, £61,000 generates £2,440 a year. $100,000 generates $4,000 a year. That's not retirement. That's barely survival, topped up by state benefits that are themselves under increasing pressure. The retirement crisis is real. It's quiet. It's coming. And it is entirely preventable if you start paying attention to your future self decades before you meet them. Truth 16. Financial stress doesn't just cost you money. It costs you health, relationships, and time. The research on this is overwhelming. Financial stress is one of the leading causes of relationship breakdown, sleep disorders, anxiety, depression, and even cardiovascular disease. People in chronic financial stress are not just poorer financially, they're poorer in every measurable dimension of life quality. This is why financial literacy is a health issue, a mental health issue, a relationship issue, and treating it as something separate from your overall well-being misses the entire point. Fixing your finances doesn't just fix your bank account, it fixes your life. Truth 17. The people who look the richest are often the least wealthy. This one is everywhere once you know how to see it. The neighbor with the Range Rover in the immaculate garden and the holidays to Bali. The colleague with the designer wardrobe in the latest iPhone and the first-class upgrade stories. Look deeper. The Range Rover is on finance. The garden renovation went on a credit card. The Bali holiday was bought on buy now, pay later. And the iPhone? Still 12 months left of payments. Appearances are not data. They never were. The genuinely wealthy often drive modest cars and live in houses smaller than their income could afford, because they understand that every dollar spent on looking wealthy is a dollar not spent on becoming wealthy. Truth 18. A budget isn't a restriction. It's a permission slip. Most people resist budgeting because it feels like a financial diet, like you're being told what you can't have. But flip it. A budget is you telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. A budget that allocates money to fun, to food, to travel, to whatever you love. It gives you permission to spend on those things guilt-free because you've already handled the priorities. Budgeting is not about suffering. It's about intention. And intentional spending is the foundation of everything else in this list. Truth 19. Your earning potential is the most valuable financial asset you own, and most people let it stagnate. Your ability to earn money, your skills, your reputation, your network, your knowledge is worth more than any investment account. And yet, most people stop actively developing it in their late 20s. They find a comfortable level, stay there, collect incremental raises, and never question whether they could be earning 20 or 30 or 50% more with deliberate development and strategic career moves. Investing in yourself, courses, books, mentors, experiences, has the highest potential return of anything you will ever spend money on. The market for skilled, knowledgeable, well-connected professionals never dries up. The market for stagnant, uncurious ones absolutely does.
Truth 20. Frugality without income growth is a dead end. This one is the counterbalance to everything you've heard from the extreme savings community. Yes, spending less matters. Yes, cutting unnecessary expenses is important, but you cannot cut your way to wealth if your income is fundamentally too low to generate surplus, no matter how lean you live. There is a floor to how little you can spend. There is no ceiling on how much you can earn. The most powerful financial strategy is not choosing between frugality and income growth. It's relentlessly pursuing both at the same time. Save aggressively and earn more aggressively. The compound effect of doing both simultaneously is extraordinary. Truth 21. Most people's financial decisions are made by their emotions, not their logic, and the market knows it. The advertising industry spends billions of dollars every year studying how to bypass your rational brain and trigger emotional purchasing decisions. The layout of a store, the music it's playing in a showroom, the way a price ends in .99, the artificial scarcity of a limited time offer, the social proof of bestseller labels. Every single one of these is a carefully researched psychological technique designed to make you spend money you hadn't planned to spend. Understanding that you are being psychologically manipulated every single time you engage with a commercial environment is not paranoia. It's financial self-defense. Truth 22. The mode most people avoid is the one that would change everything. Most people are waiting for the perfect moment to start investing, waiting until the market is stable, waiting until they have more money, waiting until they understand it better, waiting until next year. Here's the brutal truth. There is no perfect moment. There never has been. There never will be. The market will always feel uncertain because it is uncertain. But time in the market beats timing the market every single time over the long run. The person who invested $200 a month for 30 years in a simple index fund didn't need to be smart. They just needed to start and not stop. That's it. That's the whole strategy. Start. Don't stop. Truth 23. Generational wealth is real. And if you don't have it, you're starting with extra weight. This isn't about blame or politics, it's just arithmetic. If you grew up in a household where parents could help with a house deposit, pay for university, absorb a financial emergency, or simply model good financial behavior, you have a measurable head start. If you didn't, you're building from zero. Or sometimes from below zero, if family financial stress left you with debt or poor money habits to unlearn. Acknowledging this isn't making excuses. It's being honest about the starting conditions, so you can build a plan that accounts for the real terrain. And more importantly, it should motivate you to become the person in your family tree who breaks the cycle, the person from whom generational wealth begins. Truth 24. Money won't make you happy, but the absence of it will make you miserable. This is the paradox that confuses people about wealth. Study after study shows that beyond a certain income level, roughly $75,000 to $100,000 in the US, additional money produces diminishing returns on day-to-day happiness. But below that threshold, financial stress is a direct and constant source of suffering. Money is not the point. Freedom is the point. Security is the point. Options are the point. And money, when managed well, buys all three. The goal isn't to become obsessed with wealth for its own sake. The goal is to reach a place where money stops being a source of fear, where it becomes a tool, quiet, useful, invisible in the best possible way. Truth 25. The best time to learn about money was when you were a child. The second best time is right now. No parent sat you down and explained compound interest before your 10th birthday. No school curriculum walked you through tax efficiency or investment diversification. Nobody handed you a roadmap, and that wasn't your fault. But you're an adult now, and you have access to more financial education than any generation in human history. Books, podcasts, courses, communities, mentors. Every single concept in this video is something you can go deeper into tonight for free. The information exists. The question is whether you want the outcome badly enough to go get it, because nobody is coming to hand it to you. They never were. Here's what most financial content won't tell you about all of this. The 25 truths above are not secret. The wealthy know them. The financial industry knows them. The advertisers who target you know them. The banks certainly know them. The truths aren't hidden because they're difficult to understand. They're hidden because an informed, financially empowered population is less profitable to sell to. People who understand debt don't carry unnecessary balances. People who understand investing don't buy products with hidden fees. People who understand tax efficiency keep more of what they earn. The financial ecosystem profits from your ignorance, and maintaining that ignorance is, at some level, in its commercial interest. This is not a conspiracy, it's just business. But once you see it, you cannot unsee it. So what do you actually do with all of this? You start right now. Not Monday, not January, not when things settle down. Now, you write down your net worth today, every asset, every debt, the real number, even if it's terrifying. You look at your 3 biggest monthly expenses and ask one honest question about each one. Is this building my future or just maintaining my present? You automate one investment, even if it's $50. Even if it's £30, you make it automatic, so it happens before you can talk yourself out of it. You stop pretending that looking financially stable is the same as being financially stable. The performance of wealth and the reality of wealth are 2 entirely different things. You pick one truth from this video, just one, and you make one concrete decision based on it this week, not this month, this week. Because here's what Marcus figured out that James never did. Financial change is not one massive, dramatic transformation. It's a series of small, consistent, unglamorous decisions made over a long period of time by someone who decided to pay attention when everyone else around them wasn't. That's it. That's the whole secret. Attention, consistency, time. You came into this world without a financial manual. Nobody handed you the rule book. Nobody sat you down and explained how the game was really played. You were handed a role: worker, consumer, taxpayer, and expected to stay in it. But here's what I need you to take away from everything you've just heard. The game has rules, and you can learn them. And once you learn them, the game changes. Not overnight, not without effort, but permanently. Every single person in history who built wealth from nothing did it by understanding something their environment never taught them. They got curious when others got comfortable. They asked questions when others accepted answers. They acted when others waited. You watch this video to the end. That already tells me something about you. You're not done learning. You're not resigned to the version of your financial life that exists today. You believe something better is possible. That belief is the beginning of everything. Now go make one decision that your future self will thank you for, because the truths are out there. And now, so are you.